So here we go. It's time to really start to get into the draft weeds, and I'm going to do a first round mock draft for every team in the first round. No need to delay because this may be a super long video. I'm going to try to keep it as short as possible, but thank you for watching Draft Capital Sports. Let's get into it. Now, first up, I'm going to start with a trade. The Chicago Bears are going to trade out of the first pick, probably long before the draft. And I believe the Washington Commanders will meet their price, whatever that may be. Now, I'm going to try to make this as realistic as possible and leave my Bear fandom out of the equation. I'm sure Commanders fans will still disagree, whatever the trade is going to be. But it starts there, okay? It's going to start with pick number 36. Pick number 40 probably is not doable. Let's go into next year. Let's go round 2, round 4. They're already saying that's too much, which is kind of crazy to me, but they're going to try to make this hard on me. I see. Realistically, I think that you can get pick 36 and a future second. The trade is going to start there, I believe. They're not going to allow me to do that, so let me make this work just for this simulator so I can get through this. Swap. And the pick swaps are also something that I think the Bears will push for to get higher position in the draft for the draft picks. It just makes sense when you have a team that wants to move up. It's something you should always do, is force their hand as far as moving positions. Get it out of the way early so you don't have to worry about it later. But we'll pull this trade off right now. So the Bears are picking second and Washington's on the clock, and we're drafting Caleb Williams. The Chicago Bears at pick number 2, drafting Marvin Harrison. We're going to go through these kind of quick. Now, the New England Patriots, this is where it gets interesting. It's said that the New England Patriots are looking to trade Mac Jones. And maybe it's an attitude issue. I wouldn't do it if I were them. I would use Jones as a bridge to my next quarterback. But they may not do that. Now, my personal opinion, Jaden Daniels is the better quarterback on this board. But I don't think the Patriots will pick Jaden Daniels. I think they will pick Drake May. And so that's the pick we're going to go with. Next, we have the Arizona Cardinals. Now, here's where a trade back could happen. Because Jaden Daniels is on the board, and I know Las Vegas Raiders fans, I feel you on wanting Jaden Daniels, but Luke Getsy is your offensive coordinator. I don't think Jaden Daniels fits what Luke Getsy wants in his quarterback. Not saying that Jaden Daniels is bad. I just don't think he fits that system, which is quick passes and stand in the pocket. And that was the issue with Justin Fields. Justin Fields is more of a downfield quarterback, and Jaden Daniels is as well. So the Raiders probably would not trade up to this spot. I think their quarterback is probably going to fall to them as I go through this draft. So the Cardinals love draft picks. They already have 2 firsts. We're looking who's behind us. The Chargers are behind us. The Giants are behind us. Now the Giants, both of these teams could throw a curveball and pick wide receiver. So, and I'm going to be honest, Malik Neighbors, the only thing Marvin Harrison Jr. really has over Malik Neighbors, in my opinion, is lineage and size. Other than that, Malik Neighbors is just as good of a wide receiver as Marvin Harrison Jr. Hollywood Brown is going to cost a lot of money to come back to Arizona. I think they probably pass on that, and they take Malik Neighbors. A+, of course it is. Now the Chargers, a lot of people mock Brock Bowers to the Chargers. I don't think tackle is a need for the Chargers. This is another spot where a trade is imminent. The Giants would want to select Jaden Daniels. Boy, oh boy. The Atlanta Falcons would also want to select Jaden Daniels, I believe. So I'm going to trade. I'm going to bring the Falcons up here. Jim Harbaugh is going to wheel and deal here. and be smart. And we're going to put the Falcons up here. Oh, what am I doing? We're going to put the Falcons up here with a trade with the Chargers. Falcons got to get a quarterback. They just have to. So we're going to go there. And the Chargers, we want that second. We want that second. 3 spots. Can I get a future 4th? Next year, too much. All right, no problem. No biggie. So we're going to trade back 3 spots. We're going to get that second. I know I should be able to get more, but I'll give that in the comments. How much would it cost for Atlanta to move up to 5 for the Chargers? Chargers fans, let me know. So Atlanta moves up. They draft Jaden Daniels, Michael Vick number 2. So now the Giants, left tackle Joe Alt. This is a no-brainer for the Giants. The Giants do need a quarterback. I understand, but Daniel Jones, he's there. You're stuck with him. It is what it is. We'll see later on in the draft, maybe, even though I'm doing just the first round. We'll just take Joe Alt, run that ball, and good luck to the Giants, man. Good luck. They're in a tough situation up there. But Brian Dable, I believe he can coach Daniel Jones to a better performance with a better offensive line and a couple more weapons. Tennessee Titans are upset that the Giants took Joe Alt, but it's okay. Olufashano is also a very good tackle. Titans could go wide receiver here, but they need offensive line more. So we go offensive line. We take Olufashano. The Jets are pissed because they will not get the top tackle in this draft, but it's okay. Jim Harbaugh on the clock now. Rome Odunze versus Brock Bowers is the conversation here. I can't remember. The former Ravens offensive coordinator, his name is escaping me now. Greg Roman. Greg Roman is the offensive coordinator. They like to run the ball. They're going to run the ball. Look for Derrick Henry to be on their radar. Seriously, in all seriousness. Brock Bowers is really a weapon. But he's not an inline tight end. However, man, this is a tough decision here because Michael Williams will probably be a cap casualty, and Rome Odunze could step right into that role for them. It's a tough decision, but I am going to go with Rome Odunze is the better player. We're going to keep it going, Rome Odunze. I'm not going to take a tight end that early. The Chicago Bears. Now, the Chicago Bears could go crazy and just go weapon crazy and say Brock Bowers. That would be I wouldn't be mad at it as a Bears fan. I would not. If Brock Bowers was at 9 and the Bears took him, I would not be mad at it. But instead, I am going to... Now, defensive end, I think the Bears are going to address in free agency because it's a strong position in free agency. It's decent in the draft. The top 5 edge rushers, and there's a couple sleepers. So there's about 7 edge rushers total in the draft. Not saying I don't think the Bears will address edge rusher in the draft. I think they will, but why are they not letting me go down here? The Bears need offensive line here. This is also a trade area for them as well to trade back for a team that is very desperate for a pass rusher. We have that extra pick. I like Jared Verse. He does fit the mold. So even though I talked all that stuff about not taking edge rusher, you can't have, to quote Matt Eberflus, the Bears head coach, you can't have enough pass rushers. So Jared Verse is the pick. I like Dallas Turner too. Jared Verse, I think, fits the 4-3, cover 3, cover 2 scheme that the Bears like to run. Zone scheme that the Bears like to run. Now we are with the New York Jets. It's very enticing to take Brock Bowers and give Aaron Rodgers another weapon, but so he doesn't go out on the first play again because he's deathly afraid of the opposing team's defensive line. We're going to take Talisi Fuaga. and try to protect our quarterback, which the Jets are not very good at doing. Haven't been very good at doing it for a long time. So the Minnesota Vikings, Kirk Cousins, I predict probably won't be back. Though if I were the Vikings, I would try to get him back. DJ Wanham, Danielle Hunter are both free agents. So they have an offensive head coach. Danielle Hunter probably walks. So we take Dallas Turner in that blitzing defensive scheme of Bryant. What is it? The defensive, whatever. I can't remember the defensive coordinator's name right now. Denver Broncos need cornerback badly. Could use a weapon like Bowers is slipping here. This is interesting. Yeah, cornerback for the Broncos, and I'm going to take Terrion Arnold. There's rumors of the Broncos, but quarterback, that's tough. That's really a tough choice for the Broncos. We'll see. We'll see what they get in the Wilson trade. That's what's going to matter the most. I can see the Broncos. Broncos fans, cover your ears for a second. All right, cool. I can see the Broncos signing somebody like Ryan Tannehill, unfortunately. I know that sucks for Broncos fans. So the Raiders. Now, Raiders, Aiden O'Connell, he is really cool. He really is. But you need a quarterback, as I mentioned earlier. So this is going to be my first reach. Now, out of the quarterbacks remaining that will be remaining if the Raiders don't trade up, and I don't think they'll trade up because I think Bo Nix out of Oregon fits what they're going to be wanting to do on offense the best. I think Aiden O'Connell will be a bridge for that as well. I don't think Aiden O'Connell is 100% out of the running to start the season as the starting quarterback. But I think their quarterback of the future will be Bo Nix because the quick game, out of probably all the picks in the draft, he's the most equipped to pick up the NFL quick game easily. Luke Getsy, the offense does have a lot of reads, but really it's very simple, and they want to keep it simple. Move the pocket a little, make the first read, hit the receiver on the run. That's what Devontae Adams likes. That's what the Raiders are probably going to be running. They're going to lean heavily on the run game, which is something Oregon done as well. So Bo Nix is the pick at 13. New Orleans Saints. Now the Saints are in a conundrum as well. They're stuck with Derek Carr. Do they love Derek Carr? Probably not. They have older offensive tackles as well, or at least one that they need to replace. However, he's on the left side. They need pass rush very badly. And Latu fits what they're probably going to be wanting to do defensively. They have a decent defensive head coach. Latu is the pick for the New Orleans Saints. Indianapolis Colts. This is kind of a no-brainer. They could use a little pass rush as well. But Kenyon Mitchell is the best defensive player left in the draft right now. In this draft. So we take Kenyon Mitchell. Sure up that secondary. Seattle Seahawks. They just gave Geno his bonus. So Geno will be the starting quarterback next season. So I doubt they'll draft quarterback this early in the draft. Their young offensive tackles got hurt last year. They don't need offensive tackles, even though they did just spend a lot of money on the defensive lineman from Denver last year. Can't think of his name right now. I think they overpaid a little bit. Jerzon Newton is the type of 3 technique that they need on that defense. They need interior pass rush. Leonard Williams is probably going to walk via free agency. So Johnny Newton out of Illinois is the pick for Seattle for me. Jacksonville Jaguars. They need a quarterback. No, I'm joking, Jacksonville. They do. Evan Ingram could be a cap casualty. Very easily he could be a cap casualty. Cincinnati Bengals fans, this is probably going to upset you, right? They do need cornerback very badly as well. But they've invested so much money in Trevor Lawrence. The Calvin Ridley decision is a big one for them because it's going to cost them a second-round pick. And I don't know if Calvin Ridley was worth a big contract and a second-round pick. So Calvin Ridley probably walks. So we got Brian Thomas Jr. down here. We got Brock Bowers right here in our face. Doug Peterson does like to throw the ball to the tight end. Evan Ingram and Brock Bowers would be very dangerous. And Cincinnati Bengals fans, I know you guys, a lot of in the comments, you guys have your heart set on Brock Bowers, but he's going to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, Cincinnati Bengals friends, don't fret, because Brian Thomas can replace T. Higgins, who will probably be a Tennessee Titan. And we had an interruption there, so we're at Bengals pick number 18. Not sure what happened there, just stopped recording. But so Cincinnati Bengals, we're replacing T. Higgins. Brian Thomas Jr. is the pick. Yes, there are other receivers in the draft, and yes, offensive line is also a need. But I think we can find a right tackle more than we can find a starting receiver in this draft. I think Boyd and Higgins both could leave because the Bengals cap situation is not the best. So we're going to take Brian Thomas Jr. first. And now we got the Rams. The Rams definitely need offensive line help with their aging quarterback. I'm going to take J.C. Latham for the Rams. I know they need DB help, Nate Wiggins, but we can find cornerback a little bit later in the draft. Pittsburgh Steelers, kind of in the same boat here, where they need tackle in corner. I don't know who is going to be their quarterback, so we could see. I don't trust the Steelers not to try to run it with Kenny Pickett one more time. I really don't trust them to do that. But I'm going to be smart here with the Steelers. Well, you know what? They hired Arthur Smith. And Steelers fans, I know. Kenny Pickett's going to be the quarterback. All right, so we're going to take Nate Wiggins out of Clemson. That's tough. Or you know what? No, I take that back. We're going to take Troy Fountain out, offensive lineman out of Washington. Because they're going to have to give Kenny Pickett all the time in the world to throw the ball. All right. So the Miami Dolphins. This is kind of an easy one, especially with the injury to the center, Williams. This is going to be Jackson Powers Johnson, I believe. So that's an easy one. Philadelphia, we know their secondary is toast. They love Georgia players. So Amarius Mims could be an option, though it doesn't seem like Lane Johnson is looking to retire anytime soon. So I'm going to take cornerback Nate Wiggins for Philly. Houston Texans. Now, this is a team that surprisingly doesn't have a whole lot of holes. I know Jonathan Greenyard. I don't know why I can't think of his last name right now as a free agent, but they have a lot of cap space. So they'll probably bring most of their key people back. Keon Coleman is the type of receiver that they don't have, which is a big contested catch receiver. I believe Nico Collins is a free agent, though I do think they'll still bring him back. I know DeMeco Ryans would love Byron Murphy as well, but I think he likes more lengthier defensive linemen in general with that system that they run. But having a Texas boy in Texas would be a thing. So you can't go wrong either way, but I think they can wait on wide receiver. We're going to go Byron Murphy. I like the suggestion here. But then again, wait a minute. Cooper DeJean in that secondary. They do need secondary help. And he is a Swiss Army knife in the secondary, and I definitely think Ryans, I know he loves that. I'm going to take DeJean. The talent level is a little too high. Dallas Cowboys, bottom line, they need offensive line help because their offensive line is getting old. They can't keep kicking the can down the road. Tyler Guyton is more versatile than Amarius Mims. Amarius Mims is a right tackle only. I think Dallas needs the versatility, so we're going to go Tyler Guyton out of Oklahoma. The Green Bay Packers. Their offensive line, somehow their offensive line stays playing pretty well. But Bakhtiari cannot stay healthy. And I think he could definitely be a cap casualty this year. Not that, he's a left tackle, Mims is a right tackle, but you could do some jostling there with the younger tackles that they have on their team and see who can win that right tackle position. But they have to protect Jordan Poole. Cornerback, their cornerbacks are pretty good. So I don't think they really need cornerback like that. I know Jair Alexander, there's rumors that he may be leaving. I don't really think that he will. I know the little coin toss situation was a thing, but I don't see Alexander leaving this season. But though it's possible. So with the Packers, I'm going to take Amarius Mims, the offensive tackle. Let's protect our quarterback there. Alrighty. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think this is Mike Evans. Mike Evans could be leaving. Antoine Winfield Jr. could be leaving. Buccaneers have a lot of free agency issues. One of the cornerbacks are a free agent too. I can't think of off the top of my head. I can't think of who it is right now. But let me get up to the microphone. So Kool-Aid McKinstry could be an option here in the first round, though. I don't really think so. I think they keep Baker Mayfield for sure, and I think he would love Keon Coleman, a contested catch demon at wide receiver. Arizona Cardinals. We took our wide receiver. We need defensive help. Love Chop Robinson's athleticism and potential. Don't love everything else about him. So we're going to take Kool-Aid McKinstry at cornerback. Second round, I'll probably take defensive end. And Chop Robinson will probably be there in the second round. For the Cardinals. Buffalo Bills. They need a 3 technique. They haven't had a real productive one in a while. Byron Murphy. That's an easy one. Detroit Lions love to throw curveballs in the draft. Chop Robinson. Is that the type of edge rusher that Detroit really wants? Aaron Glenn in that defense. Opposite my guy from Michigan. They could use cornerback too. They could use an outside wide receiver as well. Especially with Josh Reynolds pretending that his job was to drop the ball in the final playoff game there instead of actually catch it. So this is tough for Detroit. But you really need somebody opposite Aiden Hutchinson. And I think Chop Robinson opposite Aiden Hutchinson would be an awesome fit. But then there's Darius Robinson is there too. So there's upside versus high skill level. I'm going to go with Darius Robinson for the Lions. That's who I think they pick in that situation. Chop Robinson has a lot of potential, but I think he's going to be more of a stand-up edge rusher anyway. And the Lions they're in the Super Bowl hunt. Darius Robinson is ready to play now more than Chop Robinson is. So Baltimore Ravens, a lot of free agents there as well. A lot of decisions to make. So this draft pick is definitely going to be depending upon who they keep and who they let go. For some reason, I don't think they and Rashad Bateman are getting along. I don't know what it is, But they have an issue with Rashad Bateman. They have an issue with Ronnie Stanley. I know I was going to call him Staley. Ronnie Stanley. They can get wide receivers later. I think they just re-upped Nelson Aguilar. I'm going to go Jordan Morgan. Tackle out of Arizona. One of my top tackles in the draft, honestly. Graham Barton could be a pick there for them too, but I think they go tackle. The 49ers can't draft a head coach. All right. That was a joke. Kyle Shanahan, he's great. Just not in big games. 49ers, again, have some free agency issues. More than they can actually do anything about. Cornerback, I like Charvarius Ward is a stud. Lenore is a stud. I don't think cornerback is a big issue for them. They need a nickel corner, which they can find later in the draft. Offensive line could definitely be an issue with them. It's not bad, but I don't love it. Graham Barton is probably the most talented player here. They also need a young edge rusher too, but I don't think Robinson fits what they want profile-wise. So we'll go Graham Barton for the 49ers. That's a good suggestion. Kansas City Chiefs. Who are the chefs? All right. Wide receiver, tight end. We're going to get to it. Now there is a possible Travis Kelce replacement later on in the draft with Theo Johnson. But right now, best receiver on the board. Let me go to receivers right quick. Because I'm not sure the best receiver on the board is Troy Franklin for the Kansas City Chiefs. I think he's kind of Rashee Rice part 2. They need a quick receiver that can get open and that's savvy and that knows how to run routes. Now, I'm not super high on this receiver, but I think in Andy Reid's offense with Patrick Mahomes, it would maximize what he does well. And that is Ladd McConkey to the Kansas City Chiefs. Kansas City fans, don't scream at me. He's a good player. He is. Trust me. Don't be racist, okay? All right, so recap. Number 1 pick, Washington Commanders, Caleb Williams. Number 2 pick, Marvin Harrison Jr., Chicago Bears. Number 3 pick, Drake May, New England Patriots. Number 4 pick, Malik Neighbors, Arizona Cardinals. Number 5 pick, Atlanta Falcons, Jaden Daniels. Number 6 pick, New York Giants, Joe Alt. Number 7, Olufashanu, Titans. Number 8, Roma Dunze, Chargers. Number 9, Jared Verse, Chicago Bears. Opposite, Montez Sweat, New York Jets. Number 10, Talise Fuaga. Let's protect Aaron Rodgers, please, at all costs. Dallas Turner, number 11, to replace Danielle Hunter to the Vikings. Number 12, Terrion Arnold, who will get J.J. McCarthy in the second round for the Broncos, maybe. Cornerback, number 13, Raiders. We're now waiting on our quarterback. We need him now so we can make the playoffs. Bo Nix can run that Luke Getsy offense. Number 14, New Orleans Saints. Need pass rush. Latu, probably best pass rusher in the draft. Pure pass rusher, not overall edge. Number 15, Kenyon Mitchell, cornerback. Probably best cornerback in the draft. Indianapolis Colts. Seattle Seahawks, pass rush, interior pass rush, replacing Leonard Williams. Jerzon Newton, Johnny Newton out of Illinois. Jacksonville Jaguars, a weapon for Trevor Lawrence. Need some check down weapons. Brock Bowers to go along with. And probably replace an expensive Evan Neal. 18, replacement for T. Higgins, Brian Thomas Jr. 19, LA Rams, offensive tackle help, J.C. Latham. Pittsburgh Steelers, same difference, Troy Fatano, offensive line help for our non-mobile quarterback. Dolphins, interior line help to replace injuries and protect our very fragile quarterback, Jackson Powers Johnson. Eagles, Nate Wiggins, cornerback. Doesn't need to be explained. Texans, Cooper DeJean, weapon for DeMeco Ryans in that defense, a team that has an embarrassment of riches right now. Offensive line, Cowboys, Tyler Guyton, offensive tackle. Got to start getting young guys in there on that offensive line. Green Bay Packers, Amarius Mims, same thing as Cowboys. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Keon Coleman, got to replace Mike Evans as he probably leaves for greener pastures. Kool-Aid McKinstry to the Cardinals, shoring up that secondary. Buffalo Bills, Byron Murphy, interior pass rush, make them real dangerous on defense. Detroit Lions, somebody opposite Aiden Hutchinson, Darius Robinson. Baltimore Ravens, tackle help they needed badly, Jordan Morgan. San Francisco 49ers, offensive line help they needed as well, Graham Barton. Kansas City Chiefs, Lab McConkey, really could turn into a player in that offense with Patrick Mahomes and the off-scheduleness of their passing game. So that's it. Let me know what you think in the comments below of this very long video, for me anyway. First round mock, let me know what you think in the comments below. I know most of y'all are going to hate it. Some of y'all are going to love it. Let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching Draft Capital Sports. Like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and we out. Peace.